Alright, this is Norma Joe. I'm back. I'm back. And I do not have any alcohol nor drugs right now. Totally sober. Might even drink water during this video. So, this will not be as easy as it would have been if I was fucked up. But, you know, such is life. Alright, I want to make a video about something I saw. This video is for serious nerds only, okay? So if you're not a fucking nerd, beware. What the fuck is going on here? I don't want to update my fucking computer, asshole. And I have it on airplane mode, too. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, you know? My door's closed. Okay. Anyways, I'm reading this. The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, the first one. And look, I'm almost done. Look how little I have left. I only got a couple pages, and that's not all the pages, okay? A lot of that is just maps. I only have this many, like, that's 4 pages. I only have 4 pages to the end, okay? Or 8, however you say. I say 4. I don't count both sides of the page. Anyways, whatever. The point is, the end of this book is kind of the best part to me, because, okay, you know, the movies came out when I was in fucking middle school, and my favorite character was always Boromir, okay, because he's the most flawed one. But in the book, Boromir has, like, no fucking personality for the most part, pretty much. They're just like, hey, you fucking big brute, can you just move this rock or something? And he does it. But finally, at the end, this final chapter, he just fucking lets loose, and every line he had in the movie is in this one area, right? And, like, he just fucking lets loose and just fucking says it all, right? But I noticed something, that even though he's still my favorite character, he's honestly, like, gets into some super creep territory. Hence the song I just try to do my little lip sync to. So, okay, basically, have you ever been in one of those situations where you're dating somebody who's probably a man, but doesn't have to be, but anyway, and this person is basically just always trying to fuck, right? Always trying to fuck, and they're always trying to get in your pants, and they're trying to use all these excuses, you know what I mean? And, you know, you hear about this shit a lot about some people thinking they feel like they're entitled to your body and shit like that, you know what I mean? All this bullshit. So, anyways, this is how it seemed to be in the story at a certain point, because, okay, first of all, Boromir, when he starts going off, he's just like, Frodo said he wants to be alone, right? Boromir sneaks up behind him, and he's like, first he tries to be all friendly, like, you know when cats, like, if you have a cat, you know sometimes, like, your cat gets kind of aggressive with wanting to be pet, and they're like, oh, you're not gonna pet me? Fine, I'll just put my face under your arm and make you pet me like this, you know? So he starts trying to do that stuff. He's like, oh, don't you want to talk, and this and that, and this and that. He tries to be all friendly. But then he starts going off. He starts saying, like, man, if I had the ring, I could do this and that shit. I could do all this great shit, blah, blah, blah. But then, and that's all whatever. You know, that's just, like, you know, he just wants power, and he wants to win and all this shit. But the part where it starts getting really creepy is, like, the next page. Because, like, when he says to Frodo, and Frodo, you know what's really funny is after this, Boromir goes in this long fucking rant, just like going off and off about how like I had the ring, I can do this and that, and like fuck all these elves, fuck these stupid ass wizards and shit. They all suck. Like humans are the only ones that really like can handle shit and blah 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 and da da da. And he just go on and on, and then like when Frodo responds, Frodo's response is so like corporate. It's like something like one of my it's like something like if some angry like person comes in the store and they can't afford like what they want to get or something, and they start ranting at us. It's like something some unnatural shit that one of our managers would want us to say. Like instead of just being like, hey, pay or don't pay, you know, or something like that. But they would want us to be like, yes, I hear you, and like I feel you. However, unfortunately, blah blah blah, something like that, you know. And Frodo's response is like, instead of him just saying like, okay, you're being really intense, like, you're freaking me out, and like, you know, like we're not gonna use the ring, just live with it, you know, or something like that. He doesn't say that. He says, I am glad to have heard you speak so fully. My mind is clearer now. What kind of politically correct bullshit is that? That's fucking hilarious to me because the book was written like so long ago, you know. And like, but anyways, after that, because he said that, right, Boromir kind of starts to get the wrong impression, and this is what I'm talking about, is like, you know, when you're on a date with somebody, and here's this fucking thing, it's like, if you're on a date with somebody, especially if like, you're not totally turned off by them, like, you're still into like hanging out and stuff, but you don't want to fucking sleep with them, you know, and like, you know, you're just trying to be polite and everything, because, you know, it's so fucking convoluted, like, it's really rare, actually, that you have a clear cut and dry scenario where people make it easy for you to respond, to like turn them down for specific things like sex, but not turn them down for other things like hanging out, you know. And most of the time, because people don't say direct things, you know, like they just kind of skirt around what they want. And so, you know, like it's just like, I don't know how to put it exactly, because like I can't think of any good examples off the top of my head, but I'm just thinking like, you know, you're hanging out with somebody, you go to the park, and then it's like, you know, an hour passed, 2 hours passed, and they start getting really expectant, you know, instead of just being happy that you're hanging out and you're having a good time, and you're enjoying each other's company and getting to know each other. No, it's never enough. It's never enough, because they start getting all these grandiose ideas in their head, all these ideas of what they want and like how they want the shit to go, just like Boromir. You know, he's like, if I had the ring, I could do this and that, and you know, I would lead the charge, and he even says like, what is that fucking line at? I can't find the line, but he said all the men will flock to my banner, basically. So he's just having these grandiose fucking ideas of like, yeah, first this is gonna happen. This is the problem. When people start thinking too far ahead, they start like counting their chickens before they hatch, and they start expecting all this shit to go exactly as they planned. And that's the fucking problem, is that like, because things are so unpredictable, you don't know which way it's gonna go, and instead of just enjoying the ride and being like, I'm in a state of not knowing, but everything is gonna be a surprise, so it's exciting and fun. No, they have these stupid ass ideas of like, alright, first we're gonna have dinner, and then we're gonna have drinks, and then we're gonna walk, and then we're gonna kiss, and then we're gonna hold hands, and then we're gonna make out, and then we're gonna go home, and then we're gonna have sex. It's gonna be good, and then we're gonna sleep together all night. We're gonna wake up in the morning. We're gonna have more sex, and then they have just this long fucking expectation of like exactly the way things they want to go, you know. And it's just like, oh, like it's so fucking frustrating. It takes the fun out of everything, but they just want things exactly their way, the way they saw in their mind. Like in their mind, it's like a totally like realistic, logical, like just like, oh yes, it will happen. It's for sure. But it's like, no, that's not the way it's fucking going, you know. And like. And it just sucks so much when it's like you're hanging out with somebody and their expectations are getting higher and higher and higher. None of this shit was ever agreed upon, you know. It's just like, but you know, you're just sitting there and you don't want to just be the one. You don't want to be the one to speak first to say, hey, you know, you're not getting any, right? You don't want to just say that out of nowhere, you know. You don't want to say that shit, because it's like, okay, then they're gonna turn around back at you and be like, I didn't even say anything, so why you come at me like that, you know? But at the same time, it's like there's just this big silence, this big gaping silence in between, you know. And like it's just, it's so awful. Things fall into that stupid abyss, and like, and. Anyway, that's exactly what happens in the story. Like, Frodo's trying to be polite, you know, he's like, and that's what happens sometimes when you're on a date or something. It's like, they're like, if they're like, oh, would you be into sleeping over sometime or something like that? And then you say like, well, sure, maybe if things go good in the future, maybe at some point, you know, or they say something like, oh, would you be into doing this or that? And you're like, well, you know, yeah, if you know, the right situation comes up, you know, you're not saying yes right now. You're saying like, you just not saying no because you don't want to be like, yes, I'm shutting it out completely. No, you know, absolutely not. Like, you don't want to say that because you're like, well, I have an open mind, but I'm not interested right now. You know what I mean? But anyways, because Frodo tried to be all polite, and he was just like, oh yeah, glad you opened up to me or whatever, and now I see things clearly. So, okay, Boromir got the wrong idea from that shit, right? And he was like, so you're gonna come my way, right? Because the whole deal, okay, if you haven't read the book, what's going on is that, like, they're trying to decide, like, basically Boromir wants to go back to the city, and then Frodo wants to go to Mount Doom, and he's gonna go there, right? But Boromir is trying to convince everybody to come to his city, and he wants them to fight alongside him, because, you know, he has loyalty to his city and everything. But none of the rest of them fucking want to go there. And, so he's trying hella hard to make it happen, right? So he says to Frodo, okay, you're gonna come, right? You're gonna come, because you said you were glad that I said something to you, you know, and you're glad that, and you said your mind is clear now, right? So you're coming with me, right? You're doing my plan, right? And Frodo's like, no. And then, yeah, Frodo's like, you misunderstand. So he's still trying to be polite, right? And then Boromir is pushing. So, you know, it's just like when people say, oh, you want to come back to my place? And you're like, not really, not tonight. That's the first date after all, maybe second or third or something like that, but still early on, you know. And then, or maybe say you're hanging out at their house, right, and it's time to go to bed, and they're like, you want to get in the bed with me? And you're like, no, I'm cool, I'm just cool on the couch, right? Then instead of just being cool about it, instead of just accepting what you said, they start pushing and pressuring, and being like, are you sure? The couch isn't that long, like, you know, wouldn't you rather be in my bed with me where you can stretch out fully, and like, you know, wouldn't it be nice to, you know, have a nice blanket and a pillow and whatever, you know, and you're just like, no, it's cool, because you know that they're just gonna try and fucking spoon you and butt hump you and all this shit, and you don't want that. You just want to sit comfortably. You're just like, why can't we just go over, watch a movie and play some cards, have a couple drinks and smoke a joint, and then just go to bed without no fucking sex, you know? But no, they don't want to enjoy the other things. Their mind is one track, you know? And so Boromir starts pushing him, right? He's like, oh, will you come just for a little bit? So they're like, come on, you know, just do what I want for like 5 minutes, you know? Or like, we don't have to have sex, just make out with me, you know? Or something like that. And then he starts putting all these excuses down. He's like, well, you know, he's like, you know, if my city is the same amount of time to get there as it is to get to Mordor, you know, like, so it's the same amount of time, you might as well just come to my place, right? And like, he starts saying like, you know, like, you should rest, like, you know, you've been working hella hard, and, you know, shit like that, you're tired, you need to rest, you know, and like, that's like, when you're over somebody's house and you're trying to leave, and they don't want you to leave. It's kind of like that Christmas song everyone got pissed off about, even though I'm sure in the Christmas song they meant it innocently, but, you know, the way people were taking it, the non-innocent way, that you're over somebody's house, and they're trying to fucking coerce you to fucking stay. It's like, no, you can't leave yet, like, you're trying to be like, okay, bye, and they're like, no, you can't leave yet, because, you had too many drinks, like, you should stay longer so that you can sober up more, or like, oh, look, the snow's really coming down now, like, it's too cold and snowy out there, like, you can't leave, you have to stay here with me, you know, and it's just like they're entrapping you, you know. And then, So then he tried to put his hand on Frodo's shoulder, but Frodo could feel that his hand was like, you know, he had like sweaty palms or something, and he was being kind of intense, right? So Frodo moved away from him, right? And then it says, he laid his hand on Frodo. Oh wait, where the fucking is it? He laid his hand on the Hobbit's shoulder in friendly fashion, but Frodo felt the hand trembling with suppressed excitement. He stepped quickly away and eyed with alarm the tall man, nearly twice his height and many times his match in strength. So I really thought about that because, you know, like, the movies are so fucking funny and it's easy to just laugh at everything and not take anything seriously, but I was like, honestly, that part where Boromir's coming after Frodo in the woods, like, honestly, like, if I was in that situation, I'd be scared to fucking death. Like, yeah, you're this small-ass little rabbit person, only like, what, like 3-something feet tall, and this big fucking guy, this big-ass man, like, who you have seen time and time again, especially in the book. Like, they don't really show this in the movie, but in the book, he's like the strong man, you know, like, you know when you play D&D, there's always just like a brute who's just like all physical strength and kind of low on everything else. Like, that's Boromir, right? And so it's like, that's the last person you want to be fucking alone in the woods with, when he's like, and it's just like, that's like when you're in the subway or something, and there's just like this big person there, and you're just like, or like, you know, this is why I don't date people who are way bigger than me. You ever seen these couples where the girl is like okay, I shouldn't make it girl and guy, but I'm just gonna be basic right now, okay? You can overlay your own shit over it as you want, you know, whatever. I'm just gonna be fucking basic and make it personal, okay? So forgive me for being gender ignorant or whatever, but this is more about heterosexual dating culture anyway. I'm not saying it can't happen in other situations, okay? Okay, disclaimer over. Anyways, so you ever seen these couples where the girl, or one person, whatever, is like 4'11", and the guy is like 6'3", and it's just like, I hope he doesn't beat her, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you have those thoughts too, but I have those thoughts sometimes. I'm just like, okay, you guys, you do you, but like, for me personally, I wouldn't want to be with any guy. I don't go out with any guy. Even when I was dating a lot, which I'm not now, because now I'm in my fucking nunnery and everything. But when I was dating a lot, I would never go out with a guy that is like, first of all, I don't go out with super buff guys. First of all, because I don't think it's attractive. And secondly, because I don't want him to have too much physical power over me, you know? And like, I like skinny guys and I like guys who are only like, who are not that much taller than me, okay? They can be a little taller because I'm kind of short, so I can't be like, oh, I'm only dating guys my height, because be like, okay, I wouldn't have that much options. But, you know, I'm not trying to date these big fucking motherfuckers, okay? You know, like, I like guys in like the 5'9", 5'10", 5, you know, that range, you know, not too big, you know? And like, because it's like, I don't want to be with somebody who could so easily overpower me, you know what I mean? When it's like, you're alone with somebody who's like way bigger than you, and like, the only thing keeping them from fucking you up is honor and respect. And if anything happens to make that not relevant anymore, like, you're fucked, you know what I mean? I mean, I've even been in situations before, any type of power somebody has over you can get fucked up, you know? And like, even like, before I had my driver's license and stuff, like, I mean, I guess, you know, but yeah, I'd be on like a trip with a friend, and like, you know, they're the ones driving, and we go hella far out somewhere, like a couple hours away from where we live, you know, like, I kind of feel like I have the obligation to like, not get in any disagreements with them, even if we talk and they start getting on my nerves or something. I feel like I have to keep them happy, and I have to do whatever they want, like, so that they don't, because they could strand me, you know what I mean? Like, any type of power somebody has over you, or anything like that, it kind of stops you from being totally honest sometimes, because you feel like, oh, I have to keep them happy, otherwise it could be bad for me, you know what I mean? I mean, you have to have a lot of trust between you, and they didn't, obviously. 2 of these people did not, but yeah, I'm like, that's fucking scary. If I'm a small ass little, I'm like 5'4", 5'5", something like that, depending on the measuring stick. I've got both measurements, so I don't know, you know, probably 5'4" and a half, some shit like that. Why am I lingering on this? I don't know. But if you're like 3 foot something, like the Hobbit, and yeah, this big fucking guy is like coming at you, that's fucking terrifying. God, Jesus, that's so fucking terrifying. And like, yeah, and anyways, where was I? Okay, so then, basically, yeah, then it's like, you start putting your foot down, right? So back to the other situation where somebody wants you to either come over their house, sleep with, or come in bed with them or anything like that, you know, and you're saying no, you know, and stuff, and then they start getting pissy, you know, they start getting pissy, they start feeling like, oh, okay, no, you owe me, or whatever, because you said, they were playing nice before, but because you said no, and you put your foot down, and you said no enough times, they're like, okay, no more nice games, you know, like, I want what I want, you know, like, what gives you the right to say no? And this is the fucking problem. This is the fucking problem, because of, obviously, as we all know now, and should have known all along, but, you know, just has been more accentuated in our culture now, like, obviously people have every right to always say no about their own body. Your own body is your own body, and nobody can say, like, no, you owe me your body. You owe me claim to your body. Like, I deserve a piece of your ass because this, that, and the other thing. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, that is not the way it works. You know, you always can say no. And, like, these people are so entitled and shit. And just, not to use that word because I know it's overused, but it's just the perfect word to use. You know what I mean? It's just like, they just feel like they have a claim to you. And it's just like, what? And so then, yeah, like, first Boromir, he tries to be all nice, and finally he starts, you he tries to do his little coercion. He's like, no, you need to come over because, like, don't you want to rest? You want to have some water? Like, meet my boy, and my boys are all cool, and like, come over. And then Frodo still said no, right? So, and he stepped back, and that's when he tried to put his hand on his shoulder, and Frodo moved back, because he's just like, I don't really trust you, like, you're being creepy. And that's another problem, when people are being fucking creepy, and then you react to their creepiness, like, okay, I don't really want you that close to me, right? And then they get offended, because they were being creepy, and you reacted accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is so, that pisses me off so much. And that's not even only sexual. That's like, sometimes when people just want to talk too. Like, sometimes people want to talk to you on the street or at bus station or something. You don't fucking talk to them. You don't know who they are. You're just trying to be like, okay, alright. And then they get all mad, like, oh, I'm not good enough for you, huh? I'm not fucking good enough for you. It's just like, why do I have to fucking do what you want? Why do I have to make you feel good? You know what I mean? That's not my fucking job. Like, I have my own desires too. Maybe my desire is to be left alone by you. I don't want to have to fucking talk to you. Like, a lot of people, like, these fucking people complain, like, oh, no, people are closed off, they're cold. It's like Travis Bickle. They're like, people are cold, they're mean, they're closed off, and they don't want to give me any attention. It's like, well, maybe it's your fucking fault. Maybe if you weren't so fucking creepy, you wouldn't drive people away. You know what I mean? But anyway, so basically, Frodo steps back from him because he's like, don't touch me. I don't want you to touch me. And it's just creepy. This guy's way bigger than him, and it's just like, why should you hover over me, like, grabbing my shoulder, but you could easily go from grabbing my shoulder to, like, grabbing my arms or my neck or anything, like, don't touch me. Like, I want to be over here, like, arm's length, And then Boromir says this. Why are you so unfriendly? Said Boromir. I'm a true man, neither thief nor tracker. I need your ring. Ring is pussy, maybe, or ass, something like that. That you now know, but I give you my word that I do not desire to keep it. Will you not at least let me make trial of my plan? Lend me the ring, and that had exclamation marks, it's extra forceful. So I'm just like, that is just so fucking true, because it's just like, yeah, once you say no enough times, people start getting really fucking pushy, and they're just like, yeah, I want sex. Like, is that so wrong? Like, I'm not gonna be mean, I'm gonna be nice, and, like, I'll give you good sex. Like, I'm not gonna fucking, like, I'm not gonna be rough, I'm gonna be nice, but it's just like, no, I don't want sex at all. I don't want to do any of that. And they're like, what, you think I'm not gonna be good? Oh, you think I'm not gonna be good? How dare you? Like, you didn't even let me try, like, you didn't even give me a chance to prove myself. Like, you didn't even let, like, you didn't give me any chance to have good sex with you. And it's like, because I don't want any sex, it's not like I think, oh, I would have sex with you if I thought, like, the sex is gonna be good, but I think it's gonna be shitty because you're stupid incel. Like, it's not even like that. It's just like, I don't want to have any sex. I'm not in the mood. I don't want to do it. I don't think it's gonna, I'm not gonna enjoy it. Even if you were fucking Don Juan, like, I wouldn't enjoy it, because I don't want it right now. And they just take it hella personally, and they're just like, well, I want it. And it's like, what's the big fucking deal? Like, people fuck all the time. Like, why can't we just fuck? Like, why do you have to make such a big deal out of it? Why do you have to be so, like, closed off with your body? Like, people are supposed to have sex, da-da-da. And, like, trying to make all these fucking excuses of why they're right and why they have some claim to you. And just like you said, like, why are you so unfriendly? It's like, like, I'm not being unfriendly, you're being creepy. Like, you're being fucking creepy, And, like, coming at me and just trying to convince me to do what you want. And it's like, I don't want to do what you want. Like, get away from me, And, like, yeah, all that shit. And so, where was I? And then he says, okay, Frodo did not answer, but moved away till the great flat stone stood between them. Come, my friend, said Boromir in a softer voice. Why not get rid of it? Why not be free of your doubt and fear? Okay, so this is another fucking excuse I've heard from people in dates, okay? And, like, sites and stuff like that. It's like, they're like, oh, you're just nervous, but, like, like, isn't the best way to get rid of your nervousness to just go ahead and do it? And just, like, shouldn't you, face your fears? And, like, if your fear is having sex, then you should just have sex. And, like, oh, I like it when my partner is all, like, shy and doesn't know what's going on. Like, don't worry, like, everything's gonna be good. And, like, take a chance. And, like, I'll take care of you. And, like, just more and more excuses, more fucking excuses, and trying to make it seem like you're the one with the problem. Like, oh, come on, like, it's not good to, like, be a virgin for too long. It's not good to be chaste for too long. Like, people should be having sex. Like, you're just too closed off. You're too cold. Like, you need to open your eyes and heart and legs, to the good things of the world. And, like what's that fucking Kurt Vonnegut story where everyone's like, nobody has sex anymore, and then he goes around, like, raping women because he's like, oh, I want to open your eyes to pleasure. Like, or some stupid bullshit like that. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, some of these people are like, like, oh, come on, like, just not taking no for it, like I just said. Like, they try to make it seem like, oh, you're just scared, like, and like, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, the fucking shy little, like, flower is supposed to be deflowered by, like, somebody like me, and this is the way it's supposed to go. So, like, just, like, surrender to me, and it's just like, fuck off, like, that is such fucking bullshit, like, my body, mine, it's not yours. Stop fucking, you shouldn't even have been bothering me at all. You should, from the first no, you should have been packing and get away and go to some other horny slut, Okay. So now, Boromir says this, okay? You can lay the blame on me, if you will. You can say that I was too strong and took it by force, for I am too strong for you, halfling. Okay, is that not fucking creepy or what? That is so fucking creepy. When I read that, I'm just like, oh my god, Boromir. Oh my god, like, he's so rapey right then. And I'm just like, because that's another stupid ass thing. Like, some people just cannot understand because they want sex. They cannot understand that somebody else might not want sex, and so they're just like, oh, I know what it is. It's not that you actually don't want to have sex. It's that, and especially if they feel like they're owed something, if they feel like, oh, but we hung out. So this is why I never ever let people pay for me anything, because they'll be like, well, I bought you this, I bought you that, or like I gave you some weed or something, and like, so you owe me now, you know, but not, like, but even if you don't let them pay for you for anything, like, and just, you know, just because somebody buys something for you, they do not deserve ass or pussy or anything like that, you know, like, maybe you owe them, if they buy you dinner, maybe you owe them a dinner, okay, but you don't owe them your ass, okay, you know, like, it's not like that, and people just try to lay that on you, like, well, I did this and that and the other thing for you, so you have to have sex with me. It's like, fuck off, you know, and like, like, I forgot what I was gonna say a second ago. Anyways, yes, sometimes these crazy, stupid-ass motherfuckers, they, instead of just being like, oh, this person doesn't want to have sex, they try to make all these excuses, and they're just like, oh, I know what it is. You're just shamed, like, you don't want to seem like a slut, you don't want to seem like you wanted it too much, so, like, that's okay, just say that I forced you to do it, and then you'll still seem like you didn't want it, and then, but we'll both get what we want, and of course, that's not even fucking true, because you don't want sex, only they want sex, but their mind is twisted. What's going on, baby? Oh, what's going on? You want me to throw that little thing for you? There you go. That was really cute. She came over to me and she had like a little cat toy in her mouth. She was meowing. Anyways, yeah, but that's really old-fashioned, so not a lot of people say that, you know, but some people fucking do. Like, I've heard that I haven't heard that in person, but I've heard that like on dating sites, and obviously I did not meet those people in real life. I'm sure they were just fucking trolling, you know, but some people probably do fucking believe that shit of like, oh, you just want to seem pure, you just want to, you know, keep up this charade or whatever, but actually every woman wants to be fucked, and, you know, you just want to be taken, and, you know, some bullshit like that, you know, like, I mean, now we're getting into some fucking alt-right bullshit or whatever, but I swear to God, some people say this shit, whether they believe it or not, like, some people say this insulting-ass bullshit, you know, and they're just like, you know, like, oh, don't worry, you can just say that I forced you, you know, like, then we can just fuck, and then it's like, you know, you won't seem like a slut, you won't seem like, you know, you wanted it, like, which is just so twisted to me. It's just like, what the fucking hell, like, that, I mean, it's just so old, I get that it's old-fashioned, but to me it's just so fucking twisted that it's just like, you would not want things to be consensual, like, what the fuck, like, that is just so fucked up, that reminds me of some shit, when I was in the S&M world, and all these stupid fucking misogynistic assholes I fucking hate, would say shit like that, you know, it's just like, oh, you know, everybody really just wants to be, like, taken by force, like, pain is pleasure, and it's just like, everybody is not a fucking pinhead, okay, everybody is not into fucking Cenobites and shit like that, okay, like, sure, some people enjoy it, some people, that's not everybody, and I can't stand these fucking assholes that try to have all this scientific, fucking philosophical bullshit of, like, oh, the pain and the pleasure and the thin line between them, and it's just like, okay, but actually, some people, it's concrete wall, it's not a thin line, okay, they know what they like and they know what they don't like, and, you know, like, people know what they want and what they don't want. Sure, maybe sometimes some people are like, oh, I love roller coasters because it's kind of scary and it's fun in a scary way. But that same exact person wouldn't want you to fucking come into their kitchen, chase them around with a kitchen knife because they're like, oh, it's scary, so it's fun. Like, no, that's fucking bullshit. You know, that is fucking bullshit. And it's just like, people don't understand that it's like every single person picks and chooses their own thing that they want and they don't want, you know? And I'm just like, and then the thing that's just so perfect, that is just like the perfect whipped cream and cherry on top, is when Boromir says like, oh, don't worry, you can just tell everybody that you know, I forced you, but then he's just like, he said like, you can just tell everyone I was too strong for you, because I am too strong for you, you know, like that little creepy shit is just like, oh, that's so fucking like, oh my god, it's just so like, it's just perfect, you know, like, that is so awful, it is so fucking terrible. Like, I don't blame Frodo for going invisible after that, because I'm just like, yeah, you don't want to get fucked by this big-ass guy, like, who's obviously, like, not taking no for an answer, and is pushing and pushing and pushing, and is clearly just, you know, like, not being reasonable, you know, all he sees is his own desires, and just doesn't even care, not even listening to what you have to say, like, not trying to see things from your point of view at all, just so consumed by his own fucking wants, and it's just like, yeah, okay, maybe your libido is going crazy, but you're an adult, like, fucking deal with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have self-control, you know what I mean? And, like, anyways, is there any more? I think that's pretty much what I said. And then at the end, after Frodo disappears, and he runs away, Boromir says, just wait till I get my hands on you. Well, he says it in the midst of saying a whole bunch of other stuff about how he thinks Frodo's gonna take the ring to Sauron and everything, which I don't even think he really believed. I mean, he might have believed that for a second, but then after that, he fucking falls on his ass and he starts crying, because he knows he fucked up. And then he's just like, and then, you know what, even though he's fucking creepy, and like, and just like a total rapist at that point, I still kind of feel for him after that, because, like I said, he's so flawed, and that then he has to go back to everybody else and tell them what he did, which is like the most fucking mortifying thing I can think of, you know, like when you do something so fucked up, and you know it's wrong, and you know it was bad, and you know, like, you had no fucking business doing what you did, and maybe you even hurt yourself, or, you know, God forbid you hurt somebody else, you know, or something, and you gotta go atone for that shit. Like, that's fucking mortifying. Oh my god, that's the fucking worst thing ever. You know, I don't know how old Boromir is. I saw in some some Lord of the Rings fan site or something. They said he was supposed to be 40, but I have no fucking idea. You know, he's definitely not. You know what's really funny is I think he's like one of the younger people in the group. I think Merry and Pippin might be younger than him. But you know, all the other creatures, dwarves, elves, and hobbits all have longer lives than humans. So like, because I'm pretty sure they said in the story Frodo's supposed to be like 50 something at the beginning of the story. I mean, not the beginning, but you know, like when they start their journey and stuff. And then, but you know, like 50 for them is like 30 something. I don't know, something like that. So it's like there's like age, but then there's like maturity. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like, eh. But so I'm like, okay, Boromir's like, maybe he's like one of the younger, I think he's like one of the youngest ones. But then he's like more mature. But now he's not. He's not mature right here. That's for fucking goddamn sure. Anyways, speaking of number 40, I'm almost at 40 minutes. So let me cut this shit off.